Reading. I'd rather be reading. This is the June book haul, everybody. So first up, we're going to talk about the Epic Reads Book Club pick this month. First, if you don't know what the Epic Reads Book Club is, click the link in the description down below. It's a book club with Team Epic Reads. I guess that's kind of clear by the name. And the book that we are reading this month is, drumrolling on the book itself, They Both Die at the End by Adam Severa, also out now in paperback. If you do not know, They Both Die at the End is a book about two boys who meet on their last day, and they know it's their last day because when you are dying in this like 5 seconds in the future speculative world, you get a call saying you're gonna die. And so they meet up through this app for people who are dying so they can sort of communicate, and it's emotions. That's my review. It's emotions. This book makes you feel things. I hope you guys read it. I hope you guys enjoy it just as much as I did and talk about it in the book club this month. First up, I am very, very, very excited for Love, Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. This is a novella set in the world of the Simonverse and sort of follows where their stories ended and where they're at now. So it's like a bunch of little sequels, and I'm so incredibly excited for this and see where all of our favorite characters are. And the proceeds from this book are going to the Trevor Project, which is a really cool thing that's happening. And the TV show Love, Victor, set in the world of Love, Simon, is debuting on Hulu this month. So lots of exciting things happening. And then I have Burn by Patrick Ness. If you can't tell, there be dragons here. And this is an alternate historical fiction novel with a bit of a fantasy twist to it because dragons exist in this world, and it's set in Cold War era, and it follows a girl whose family's on rough times, and she's trying to save her farm. Her and her dad are trying to save her farm, and they hire a dragon to help them with the work, but they're also FBI agents, and an assassin who is a fervent dragon cult worshiper, and how all of their stories intertwine. You're gonna have to read this for yourselves, guys. It's just Patrick Ness, fantastic fiction. And then I've got My Calamity Jane by the Lady Janies, Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. And this is the third Jane book. The Jane books aren't related. You don't have to read one to read the other, but you should read them all because they're all fantastic. And this is a Western. It follows Calamity Jane, who is a sharpshooting werewolf hunter, and she teams up with Annie Oakley, and her crew sort of end up in a precarious situation when Jane thinks she's been bitten by a werewolf and she needs a cure, and it's just a really hilarious, retelling-ish, fun time. And if you've read the Jane books, you know how fun these are. And then we have A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown, and let me show you. The ring light's kind of affecting your ability to see the cover too well, so you're just gonna have to see it in person. But this is an epic fantasy debut inspired by West African folklore that follows Malik, whose sister was taken by a vengeful spirit, and to get her back, he needs to kill the princess. And it also follows the princess Karina, whose mom was killed, and to bring her back, she is delving into this dangerous magic where she needs the heart of a king. And so Malik enters into this competition to win her heart, I guess you would say. And so if he becomes the king, she needs his heart. He's trying to kill her. Their relationship is complicated. There's feelings there that bloom, and it's just a really epic, intense fantasy you guys do not want to miss. The next book I'm telling you about is The Boundless by Anna Bright, the sequel to The Beholder, where Sela is sent overseas to find a suitor or never return home. There's a little bit of an evil stepmom situation involved here. It's a fairy tale inspired story. And in this duology finale, Sela has met a prince who has her heart. But what's keeping her from him is that she finds out the true mission of her ship, and that was to supply weapons to the rebellion. And so she is set on finishing this mission through and returning to her true love. And you're gonna have to read it to find out if she pulls it all off. Will she live happily ever after, like in the fairy tales? And then next up we have I'll Be the One by Lila Lee, and I'm gonna show you guys this cover because it's impossible to look at without smiling. And this follows a bisexual girl named Sky Shin who enters and nails her audition to be the next K-pop star in this big competition, regardless of media's beauty standards and society, and even her own mother telling her that she doesn't have the body type or the look to do so. And it's a really exciting, fun story. She has a bunch of new experiences in this competition. She makes new friends. She's partnered up with an unfairly attractive celebrity model named Henry. And it's a fantastic tale of body positivity and following your dreams. So do not miss this one. And then we have You Don't Live Here by Robin Schneider, author of The Beginning of Everything. And this follows a girl named Sasha who lives out in California. And when an earthquake hits, she loses her mom. And in doing so, she loses everything. And she's sent to live with her grandparents and sort of start anew and try to fit her life back together. But the life her grandparents want from her isn't the life she wants, she realizes, and it's not the path she wants to be on. She doesn't want to be with the boy in school who wants her to be his girlfriend. And she meets a girl named Lily Chen who sort of is a breath of fresh air in her life, and she finds the pieces of what are broken fitting back together in a way she didn't expect. And so it's a really touching Own Voices bisexual tale. And then next up, we have The Falling in Love Montage by Kiera Smith. And this is an Own Voices rom-com that follows a girl named Saoirse who doesn't believe in romance or happily ever after or relationships. Her mom has dementia and she's just sort of not in the best place. And then she meets a girl named Ruby who is just exciting and fun and convinces her to go on a summer of montage-worthy dates where it's just cute, cliches and romance, but there's no strings attached, and at the end of the summer it's not going to be a relationship. But there's no way to have an adorable summer like that and not have feelings get involved. And so definitely check out this really cute tale. And next up is You Say It First by Katie Coutinho, and I'm gonna let you guys check out this cover for a sec. This is a really cute rom-com that follows a girl named Meg she's got her whole life figured out. She's got a sweet boyfriend, she knows she's going to Cornell, and she's in a really good place. And then there's Colby, who's in a really not good place. He's sort of going through rough times and he's trying to figure it out, and they become pen pals, and from being pen pals they become friends, and then from friends they become something more potentially, even though there's this distance between them. And it's really adorable, and another one that you guys should definitely check out this month. And next up is All the Things We Never Knew by Liara Tamani, and this is a story about Carly, whose parents are getting divorced and who thinks she wants to quit basketball but doesn't know what would fill that void in her life, and she's just not in the best place. And Rex, who is sort of a one-to-watch basketball player, who's just so fantastic at it, but whose mom died giving birth to him, and he's never had a good relationship with his dad because of it. And when they meet and lock eyes, they know that there's a connection here. And it's their story. It's a story of love, but also the pain that they have and secrets and whether or not they can work through it, and have this happy connection that they know is there. So definitely recommend. Another adorable tale. And then next up is a fantasy title, Sisters of Sword and Song by Rebecca Ross, and this follows sisters and swords and songs, and that's really all you gotta know. I'm kidding, but it does follow a pair of sisters who have been separated for years, and Eva is ecstatic when her sister Halcyon returns home, but she learns that Halcyon committed a crime, and being her sister offers to take half of the punishment and help her out with the punishment, and these sisters are separated, and in their different punishments that they're experiencing, learn that there's something else going on here, and it's a really exciting fantasy that you shouldn't miss. And then the last book I'm going to tell you guys about today is Seasons of the Storm by Elle Cosimano, and this is a really exciting fantasy where the way that the magic and the Gaia energy in this world works is that you are given the opportunity to live forever as a season. And so these teens are resurrected as these seasons, and you have to kill the season before you to make your season start. But that goes wrong when winter and spring fall for each other. Do you like that pun? And so they're stuck in the cycle of having to kill one another to let the next one live, and it's just a dangerous, magical, exciting tale, and you'll have to read to find out how their stories end. So that was our Epic June book haul. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next month in July. Bye.